This tweet from David Doel. Well, actually, I first stumbled across it because Jackson Hinkle of the Dive. Definitely give his channel check it out if you haven't already. Give him a follow on Twitter. He was pointing this out, how David Doel was criticizing Jimmy Dore for having a nice home, nothing super crazy, extravagant. I mean, 1.9 million for Los Angeles. That's only about a little over double of the average housing price there. I mean, he's not living in a $100 mansion or anything like that. And then, so this was the article that Doel was citing. I mean, 3,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, Studio City, LA. Oh, is there photos of it? Let's see if we can check it out. The Dore, Jimmy Dore's residence with his partner, right, Steph. They're married. Built in 1936. I mean, it looks pretty nice, but like, this isn't a fucking mansion or anything. It's a nice little house. What was it? 4 bedrooms, 5 baths. I mean, it's nice. I would fucking live there for sure. I'd be stoked on this. That nice marble countertops. Looks like I feel like those can maybe be a little better, but I'm just being nitpicky at this point. Like, what is so outrageous of somebody who's been successful living in a place like this? Again, the point of eradicating capitalism is that so the massive amount of wealth and resources that are in the world are more evenly distributed, so everybody has a much better chance at a high quality of life, at living in a nice home like Jimmy Dore and his wife, partner Steph does. It's not about everybody, living in fucking shacks. It's about, using technology and putting it to use for the betterment of, the society, as opposed to generating more profits for the capitalist class. So I have no problem with Jimmy Dore having a nice home. And I think this is what David Doel has a problem with, that Jimmy Dore has a nice home. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Like, the dude is, in his 50s. He's been a comedian for quite some time. He has a big following on YouTube. I'm sure he makes a decent amount of money from, ad revenue and, memberships that he has on his channel. But he's David Doel, the rational national, not being very rational here, in my opinion, and trying to talk shit about Jimmy Dore for having a nice home. Again, I think it was Jackson, or maybe it was Glenn Greenwald in replies, pointed out how, people were defending Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has 3 homes, and they were defending that. I mean, I think that is a little bit less defensible than, Jimmy Dore having 1 nice home. But I guess if you're a politician, you probably need at least 2 state of residence from, where you're governing from. So you need 1 in Washington State, and then Bernie would also, need 1 in Vermont as well. But I think obviously that could be defended as well. You need, 2 places to stay if you're, if you're a politician, if you're a national politician, and you're having to go work in D.C. for, most of the year. Holy shit, this pathetic dude. Bernie was criticized for his homes too. Then your transformation to a shit lib is complete. I guess being friends with TYT is more important than actually fighting the establishment. I like that, because that's pretty good. Give me a follow on Twitter if you haven't. I'll link down below. You're the one who claimed he's bankrupt. I have no issue with wealth. I only care what you did to make it. So how did Jimmy Dore make his wealth that was somehow offensive to David's liberal sensibilities? I'm a little confused about that part. David, after his serious illness and bankruptcy, Jimmy Dore, went on and had a couple Comedy Central specials. He had a radio show. He did stand-up comedy. He joined TYT and finally went to do his own show. Kept grinding over and over. Is it possible to overcome bankruptcy? How do you not get it? I mean, I don't know. Again, I think it's a really silly thing to criticize Jimmy Dore about, and this is what Jackson Hinkle said. Marxism does not oppose wealth, it opposes exploitation and profits. Caleb Maupin. The goal of a society with vast material abundance, vast expansions of wealth, laying basis for the eradication of inequality in the state, which would be, communism at that point, classless and stateless society. Because again, we have the tools, the resources, the know-how to make sure everybody in the U.S., everybody abroad, has a nice home to live in, has education through college, health care, mental health, clean water, fast internet, green technology, transition away from fossil fuels, etc. It's just, that's all being devoted towards creating profit. That profit goes to a very tiny portion of people at the top, the capitalist class, people who own the means of production, while everybody else, is living in these very precarious situations and gets by, scrapes by, with the crumbs that fall down from our capitalist overlords. In a, functioning socialist society, everybody would have a high standard of living, as Caleb Maupin and Jackson Hinkle are pointing out here. Let's see, what did Glenn Greenwald say? Aren't these the same people who get angry when it's pointed out by K-Hab types and those on the right that Bernie can't really be sincere in his socialism because he's a multimillionaire who owns 3 homes? Bernie is vastly richer than Jimmy Dore. How do they navigate that? It's not a house, it's a compound now, LMAO. And that's like a pretty normal house in LA. Yeah, again, only about, double the average housing price in LA. I mean, that's not a mansion. I mean, it's a nice home, but it's not a fucking mansion or anything. I can never figure out why knowledgeable Americans, I believe Doel is a Canadian, would think, I guess he is still a North American, yes. Would think a home in LA being 1.9 million is a palace. It's common and right about middle class. He's a Jimmy Dore hater. Okay, what is this guy saying? Oh, that's not playing for some reason. But Jimmy's doing something that's a difference. Yeah, because I think they bought this a while ago, right? Does it say in here when they bought it? Let's see. Let's move this back over here. But I definitely take the side of, Jackson or Caleb or others who think it's really ridiculous to criticize Jimmy Dore having a nice home. It's not crazy, not extravagant. It's nice. I feel like this is a level of, comfort we should and would want everybody to have under a, socialist system, and transitioning towards communism, where all this great wealth that there is in the world is, more evenly distributed. Obviously, in socialist system, there's still going to be inequities, but, everybody will have a much better chance at, high standard of living. I thought maybe it said when he bought this, because I think he bought it like a while ago, and like the housing prices have just gone up, so he's increased. New purchase. Oh, so maybe that's just the amount he spent on. It's kind of confusing, but I thought he had bought this a while ago. Let's see if there's any. Smoothie action before I go on a bike ride. James Patrick Anthony Dore, 65. Let's see if it shows in here. Looks like the same thing. Yeah, they're devil. No, nothing. So, Jesus, I mean, when there's people out there with 75, 25 million, goddamn, son. Anyways, I just think it's a little off-putting when people like David Doel, the rational national, as he calls himself, criticizing Jimmy Dore's, by LA standards, pretty modest home. It's nice, but it's not a fucking mansion. Definitely not a compound either, but somehow this is a point of discussion. Don't know why. Doesn't make sense. We should all be talking about how under, a socialist system, everybody's quality of life would improve. There's going to be a lot more opportunities and chances for people to have, these high standards of living, to have a nice home like Jimmy Dore and his partner does. I think that should be the focus, not that Jimmy Dore's bad because he has a nice home. It's let's work and fight to create a system where everybody will have, such a high standard of living. That sounds a lot better to me. What say you? Like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. Come to Patreon if you're so inclined. All part of People Peace. Much love.